Welcome to Python Programming Language video tutorials by Shine India Pvt Limited. I am your Posubabu Sir, Technical Quant Logical Reasoning Trainer. In this presentation, I would like to discuss a few important methods from the list. So these are the methods I would like to discuss in this presentation. Without wasting much time, let's start our class. Yet first, let us discuss a len method. This len method is a built-in method. Using this len method, we can identify the length of the iterable. Let me write the same thing over here. It is used to find the length of the iterable, right? Length of the iterable. So here iterable means a list, tuple, set. All these comes under iterable structures, right? Now, so what it will be doing? It will be identify or count the number of elements, which are there in the iterable, and returns what? And returns integer value. Let me explain with a small example. So if I have taken A is equal to, A is what here? An object or a variable. So let me take some elements. So there are 4 elements which I have taken in a list. So clearly here A is an object, right? Now let me take len function. So at the len function or method, you have to pass an argument as an iterable, right? So try to pass A. And what is the role it will be doing? It will count how many number of elements are there in this iterable, right? So here 4 elements, hence it returns a 4. So I hope everybody understood. So let me execute the same thing in my IDE. So here I am taking A is equal to a list, consists of different elements, right? Now let us determine how many elements are there in this list or length of this list. So for that, you have to use a built-in function or method that is len, and pass A as an argument here, as A is a what here? An object of which class? List class. So try to pass A as an argument at this len function and then execute it. So it returns what? Number of elements which are there in this list. So if you want to see output on the screen, use print method and execute it. So instead of this list, you may take even tuple, you may take even dictionary, you may take even string. So let me give one more example for the string. Suppose A is equal to, let me take one string as my name, and then use len function. Let me write here print of len of A and execute it. So how many characters are there? 8 characters are there. Hence it returns what? 8. So length of the string is 8. So I hope everybody clear with this len method. Now let's go back and discuss the next method, that is insert method. Let us discuss insert method. What is the role of insert method? Using this insert method, we can add the elements into the list. So let me write it here. So what we can do using this insert method, we can add the elements. right? So at a time, we could add only one element. Do remember this point. In my previous tutorials, I already explained append method, which is also useful in order to add the elements. There, the elements will be added at the end of this list. Now, let me take one example. So, suppose a list object, if I have taken three elements which are there in this list object. Now, if I have used append method and I wish to add one element 99, so where this element will be added at the end of this list? Can we add between 3 and 4 using this append method? No. Can we add the same element between 4 and 10? No. So this can be added at the end of this list only. So that is what the disadvantage we have using this append method. Now to overcome that, so one should learn insert method. So what is the use of this insert method? Using this insert method, we can add the elements at a specified index. So I hope everybody understood. Here, index number that plays a vital role. At specific index, if you want to add the element, so we are going to use the insert method. Now, let me explain the syntax for this insert method. The syntax is list name dot insert, and it holds two arguments. One is index number, and second one is element we would like to add it. Now, let me give you a small example here. Suppose a list name is A, and then I'm writing certain elements here. Same elements 3, 4, 10. Now, so list name means here list name is A. So try to plug in that. So dot insert, and you have to pass over here index number. Now I would like to add one element at index number 1. So write that index number. And what element you would like to add? I just want to add 99. Now, soon after applying this method, so on A, what will happen? So A will be updated. A will be updated. And if you are writing the statement called print A, so you may see the output as 399 410. So this could be the list you will be getting. Now at index number 1, so newly added element that is 99 joined. Right? So try to observe this point over here. So when you are specifying this index number here, so already at index number 1, we have a 4. So prior to this, a newly added element will be joined there. So I hope everybody clearly understood what I have conveyed here. Now, let me explain with an example. So for that, I have opened my IDE and I'm writing the same code here. So let us write 3, 4, 10. So three elements I have taken. So let us write a dot insert. As I specified here, two arguments we have to pass. So first argument is index number, that is I'm giving 1. And the second argument is the element which we would like to add it. Now, you just try to write the statement that is print A. Now, you could see, so at index number 1, we have added a new element. So, original list at index number 1, we have a 4. Prior to this 4, a newly added element will be joined. So, I hope everybody clear with this example. Right? Now, let me go back. And then I just want to convey very important point, so which makes you to clearly understand this method. For better understanding, so I just want to give an example here. Let me take one list name as A and take certain elements here. So 10, 20, 100, 1000. So one string called hi. Right? So now let us give index numbers for these elements. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the index numbers. So it is what forward indexing. So in backward indexing, since it is starts with a -1, so write all the corresponding index numbers. Right. Now let us use insert method. A dot insert of. Now at what index number I would like to add the element. Now here index numbers, when you are specifying, so that index numbers might be positive or negative. It might be positive or negative. Now let us write positive index. If I have written 2 and the element I would like to add is 99, so the element which is there at index number 2, that is what 100. So prior to this, the element will be joined. So 99 will be added between 20 and 100. Now if you print A, the output you will be getting as 10, 20, 99, 100, 1000, high. So this is what the output you will be getting. Now what will happen if you are going to take a negative index, right? Now let me write the same example. So A dot insert of, I'm writing here -1, and I'm going to add the 999, right? So this is what the updated list for A. Now let us write the index numbers in backward. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. Now where you would like to add the new element. So at index number -1. So here in this case, index number 2, we have 100 prior to this new element added. Now here index number -1, prior to this, a new element will be added, which means the output will be like this. So if you are writing print statement, print A, now the output will be what? So output will be 10, 20, 99, 100, 1000, and then 999, and then high. So this is what the output you will be getting. But if you observe here, this is index number -1, index number -2, which means the newly added element has been joined at index number -2, not in -1. So here the concept you have to remember is always prior the new element will be added. So whatever the index number is there, so corresponding element prior, new element will be added. So that is what the concept, right? You just try to understand these two by executing once so that you have some confidence and using this insert method. Now let me open my IDE and execute the same thing so that you could understand in a better way, right? Now let me write here some 2. Now, what is the element which is there at index number 2 here in original list? 0, 1, 2. Now, this 99 will be joined prior to 10. Now, let me execute it. So, I hope everybody clear. Now, let us use negative indexing. Now, instead of 2, let me write -1. Right? Now, let us add some more elements. Now, where this 99 will be joined? So at index number -1, we have an element called 876. So prior to this, that new element will be joined, which means the output you could see before 876, a new element will be added. So I hope everybody clearly understood what I have explained. Now let us move for the next method. Next method is sum method. Now let us discuss sum method. Let me write it here. Now, using the sum method, what we can do? So we can find the sum of the values present in the list, present in the list. Now, let us see the syntax for this sum method. And sum is a built-in method. Do remember this one. It is a built-in function or built-in method. Now, let us learn the syntax for the sum method. Now, you have to write sum of, so first argument, you have to pass a variable name or object name. So list object name is here, A, for example. And second argument is a start, and it is an optional. It is what? An optional argument. Do remember this one, right? Now, let me give a small example so that you can understand in a better way. Let us take list object as A, so which consists of 4 elements. Now, you may write here sum of, here you have to pass list object name, that is A. So I don't want to pass here start, right? So when you are not passing this start, so default start, it will be taking it as a 0. Do remember this point. Since I did not pass anything as a second argument here, so it will be taking it as a 0, right? Now, and it will be evaluate or compute the sum of these elements. And then it returns what? So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, that is what? 10. You may see the output as a 10, right? Now, if you are mentioning the start, then what will happen? Let us write sum of A comma. So I am going to pass the start as a 2, which means what happens over here? So it will be starts with a 2. So 2 plus 1, 3. Let me write it here. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 3, 8. 8 plus 4. So it returns what? 12. Whereas in my previous example, I haven't given any start here. So hence it starts with a 0. So 0 plus 1, so it becomes 1. So 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 4, 10. So you got output as a 10. So I hope everybody clear with this sum method. Let me open my IDE and execute the same. Let us take A is equal to, so one list. Let us take 4 elements over there. Now, let us use here sum of, so variable list object name, here it is A. So when you pass list object, that is A, and though you are passing 0 or not, it will be considered as the second argument as 0 only. So let me remove it and execute it. So the output is 10, right? Now let me copy the same thing and paste it here. And here I'm going to pass second argument as 0. Then also you got the similar output. Now let me take one more shell and then paste it over here. Now let us give the start as 2. In this case, you will be getting output as 12. So I hope everybody understood what I have conveyed regarding this sum method, right? Now let's go back and discuss the next method, that is max. Let me erase this and discuss max method. Let me write it here. So it is also a built-in method. It is also built-in method. So using this method, what we can do? We can find the maximum element or maximum value present in the list. Present in the list. So which means it returns what? Maximum value which is present in the list. Then what about min? Min function, it is also a built-in function. or built-in method. And what is the role of this min? So it also finds and returns the minimum value present in the list, present in the list. So it returns what? Maximum value. Whereas min function returns what? Minimum value. So it finds and returns maximum value. Min function, it finds and returns a minimum value. So I hope you could understand. I will be giving a small example for these two functions so that you can understand in a better way. For that, I'm opening my IDE and let us write a sample cases here. So let me take, so A is equal to, let me write here different numbers. So I have taken one list object. Now the syntax for max function, you have to write max of, and you just try to pass the object here, that is list object A, and execute it. You can identify the maximum number which is there in this list. And if you want to find out minimum number, syntax remains same. Instead of max, you could write min and execute it. So what could be the minimum value present in this list? That is what? 12. So you will be getting output as 12, right? So if you want to see the same outputs on the screen, so write the print statements and execute it. Here also write the print statement and execute it. So I hope everybody understood this max function and min function. Now, let's go back to the presentation and what we discussed so far. So we discussed about these methods. So len method we have discussed. So it will be identify what? So length of the list. And the inset method, using this inset method, what we can do? We can add the elements at a specific index. And I have given certain cases as well when the index number is positive and when the index number is negative. So try to work on these two to avoid the confusion. And the next method we discussed is sum method. As I told you, it takes two arguments. One is list object or object name, and second one is a start. A start is an optional here. So default start will be 0. And these two methods are very simple. So using this method, we can find and return the maximum value present in the list object. Using this min method, so we can identify the minimum value which is present in the list. So I hope everybody clear with these 5 methods. If you understood my video, please like, share and subscribe our channel. Thanks for watching.